Today we present the 1955 Lancia Aurelia B56 Florida limousine chassis number B56S 1006 four-door by Pininfarina, and the 1955 Lancia Aurelia B56 Florida Coupe chassis number B56S 1002 two-door by Pininfarina. Here is a story of the dramatic show cars, the 1955 Lancia Floridas, that sparked a worldwide design revolution, the influence of which can still be seen today. It is more or less typical of Pininfarina that at the very moment when mass production takes hold of them, there is a danger that good design will have to take a back seat to commerce. They come out with perhaps the best body shape ever made. His closest collaborateur in those days was probably Francesco Martinengo, Director of Design, Research and Quality Control. He had joined Pininfarina in 1952, leaving his post at Stabilimenti Farina, which closed its door shortly afterwards, where he had been since completing his schooling in 1934. When Pininfarina surprised the world with the coupe shown here at the Salone del Automobile in Turin in the spring of 1955, everyone was unprepared. And no one could have guessed at that moment how much the Florida would influence the art of car design in the years to come. The saloon shown here also made its debut at the Paris Motor Show in 1955. A total of 4 examples were produced, 1 two-door and 3 four-door, undoubtedly one of the most famous designs on an Aurelia chassis. If that sounds like an exaggeration, it is not. With the Florida, Pininfarina said goodbye to monolithic shapes and welcomed a new principle, the development of the body through symmetrical juxtaposition of body panels. A square-looking body with decoration almost completely dispensed with a wide radiator grille. It was not new, but merely a variation on the flattened oval that Pininfarina used on so many Ferraris. The headlamps were housed within the grille frame, with smaller auxiliary headlamps set into the front wingtips. A ponton body with a modern look, a body that looked as it had been cast in one piece, with side clearly projecting over the entire length, a slightly American look with discrete tail fins, with filigree pillars and doors that closed against each other without a B-pillar, a very elegant solution. So it was only logical that the Florida became the Flaminia in design. This design influenced body construction in Europe for a long time and can be found, for example, on the Austin A55 and MG Magnet MK3 in 1959 and on the Peugeot 404 in 1960. The horizontal emphasis was provided by the belt line, which extended from the front wings to the high rear wings and merged with the C-pillars, curving towards the rear. Further enhancing the horizontal motif was a continuous sheet metal, creased just about the wheel cutouts. The Lancia Florida had a wraparound panoramic windscreen that was undoubtedly inspired by the contemporary American styling fashion of General Motors. In terms of proportions, the Lancia Florida was perfect for its time. The profile was long and lean, and the length of the rear deck was sufficient to create a visual balance with the bonnet, emphasizing the car's dating 50-50 empty weight distribution. The large wheels may seem outdated from today's perspective. However, these wheels with Michelin X165-400 tires seemed smaller than was expected of a 104 3-inch wheelbase car in 1955, and the lack of the fixed B-pillars worked against the low roof and lent a certain airiness to the spacious interior of the large windows. Both cars have a tasteful two-tone paintwork, the saloon in light blue with black, the coupe in black with white. About the coupe, Pininfarina himself said, this is the car I would take to heaven. Both the coupe and the saloon were pillarless. The doors of the saloon opened centrally, and Pininfarina devised a novel arrangement to compensate for the absence of B-pillars. When the saloon was closed, the rear door latched into the front doors, and all the doors also latched onto the sills, again a very elegant solution. The coupe frameless side glazing precluded any attachment points of the doors on the roof. Lancia had some reservation about this arrangement, and so the Flaminia emerged as a pillar saloon with a full window frames and conventional front-hinged rear doors. The Flaminia was built on a 113-inch wheelbase. It was powered by the largest 2.5-liter version of the front-wheel drive Aurelia V6 engine, tuned to produce 102 horsepower. The De Dion rear suspension was retained, but Antonio Fessia, technical director at Pininfarina at that time, departed sharply from Lancia practice by using a new front suspension with upper and lower wishbones and coil springs inclined at about 20 degrees from vertical. The saloon shown here was thus the only left-hand drive car bought directly from Pininfarina by the Lancia representative for the USA at the time, Kjell Quale. The Florida was then acquired in 1993 by Jules M. Heumann, the president of the Concours d'Elegance at Pebble Beach. The cars shown here are both owned by the Italian Corrado Lo Presto of Milan. The saloon was presented in 2010 and the coupe in 2023 at the Concorso d'Eleganza Villa d'Este at Como, Italy.